Welcome to 31 days of dinners. So this is covering the whole month of January, something a little bit different. I just thought that I would share with you guys what we've had, because as you know, we have pretty much packed freezers. So the idea is to use it up and go through and yes, try and make some spaces where we can. Oop, got one little space there. We're going well. So first up, we've got some crumbed chicken for my daughter with some chips and some veg, and for hubby and myself, we've got chicken Kievs with chips, and my son's got chicken nuggets and chips. He's not really a fan of veggies this evening, so that's okay. The next night is tuna patties, so it's just potatoes, frozen corn, egg and the tuna, mix it all together with a little bit of flour, and there it is. It usually makes enough for 3 or 4 each person. The next night we had tacos, and this is just old footage that I found, so just ignore the date on the meat, but I couldn't find the new footage that I had, but I did have a salad on the side of my taco, and again using it up. So we did have the same as before, some leftover taco covers. We've got sausage rolls, because I did get this sausage mint on clearance, and of course it was in the freezer, so I've pulled it out ready to use. And I did buy this chicken breast fillets because chicken is the one thing that we go through in the house a lot. We don't always have backups, and we got these bags of veggies on super clearance. So I still am buying some markdowns when I can find them, especially if I know we're going to go through them pretty quickly. I crumb up the chicken fillets with some panko crumbs and also some parmesan cheese, and then I actually cook it in the oven for about 20 minutes. Let me just add some veggie and some homemade chips as well. You'll see at the end how I do those. The next night we have chicken and rice. So now I make it myself, being a honey mustard chicken. So I use a lactose-free cream, and then I also have some mustard there. I just put a heaped tablespoon of it in there. I put a squirt of honey and a little bit of garlic powder, and then I cook all of that off. We also have that with some rice. So tonight is another 2-part night, so I'm doing a separate meal for my daughter compared with what my son and my hubby will eat, just due to some sensory, texture and some allergy needs, which is fine. I'm making a quiche, as you can see here, and that will actually do her for at least 2 if not 3 meals. So I'm more than happy to cook that, because then it helps cover for other nights. So we've got the chicken from, we blanched and processed to shred it. My brain is not working. We've got some lactose-free cream. We've got the oat milk if we need any. We've got a zucchini which we shredded up, and then we mix it all together with a little bit of flour, and then we put that in the oven to cook for half an hour. And hubby and I are having fish fillets for dinner, and my son is having chicken nuggets. Then I'm going to make a fried rice, and then this way also we'll have some extra fried rice left over for my son to have for lunch the next day when I'm not here. So he loves to eat this at lunchtime, so it's one thing that I'm glad that I can cook, so then I know he's going to be eating something really good at lunchtime and not just cookies. Here is the quiche. I can't remember if I added cheese through this or not. Sometimes I do, but it's plated up there with some veggies. My daughter didn't want chips this evening. Next night is a whole family burger night, so that's really good, especially when I buy the burger buns on clearance. The clearances are usually what determines how we have at dinner. So we've got the frozen chicken patties already, and I will make up a couple of crumbed chicken burgers for my daughter and myself, but my son really likes the ones that you buy in the big pack. And we've got some chips. I've got a little coleslaw that's there. We've also got some lettuce, some cheese and some beetroot. So it is a make your own burger bar. The next night we are having sausages with some veg, and here is the quiche that my daughter will have left over with some mashed potato as well and the veggies. So put all that together. So my son likes to have a bit of a sausage sizzle with his mash there. My daughter's quiche with the mash and the veg, and hubby and I are having sausages with the mash. Don't worry, I added gravy. We're not huge sausage fans, but we do eat them from time to time. The sausages were on clearance as well. Of course they are. The next night, hubby and I had this pasta with the white sauce because, again, clearance. Hello, my son's had a pasty with the little potato gems that he likes, and my daughter would have had a little chicken dish thing that she makes up herself because I have no footage of it, so I'm sure that's what happened. The next night we've had some meatballs, again clearance food. My daughter had her crumbed chicken with veggies, and then here are all of ours. My son's had chicken nuggets with just a couple of the meatballs. He's not a fan, but he'll always try them at least, so that's good. And yes, added gravy, of course. And the next night I've made a pizza because we had some bases in the freezer, and I had a little bit of this cheesy bread, so I thought let's pull that out. We're just basically grabbing bits and pieces. We are having a roast. We haven't had a roast in ages, and this was in the freezer, so I threw it in the fridge to defrost. It took a couple of hours to cook. I wrap it up in alfoil, and then my daughter's just had her standard crumbed chicken, chips and veggies. She likes the meal a lot, but she doesn't want to eat some of the meat-based things that we eat, so it's totally fine. Hubby and I have had another pasta with the white sauce because, again, hello, clearance. And my son's just having his standard chicken nuggets and chips. I did go into the big freezer because I know that we have bits and pieces of meat frozen here, and I really need to go through and make a little bit of a list because we nearly ran out of chicken. I did know that we had this diced chicken that's here, and so I gave that to my daughter, and she made a couple of chicken noodle dishes out of it. I don't know how she does it, but yeah. And then we've had some sausage rolls left over that I'd had frozen, so reheated them for my son, and we've had the crumbed chicken with homemade chips and veggie again. We have the next night done our fish, but we did fish and chips, so it's just the footage from before. My son's done chicken nuggets and chips, and my daughter had that chicken left over to have with the noodles. And then the next night we've had this chicken roast that we got from Coles ages ago. I forgot to take a before photo. Trust me, it was on clearance. It was also frozen solid as a rock, so it took quite a few hours because I didn't realize. I only pulled it out a few hours beforehand, but oh well. And of course, here is my daughter's standard dinner. It's funny, she likes to eat the same things over and over again now, whereas my son is more happy to kind of explore and try other new foods. The roles are totally reversed. Now that we've got the pantry sorted out, I have been able to find some things that we've had in here for a very long time. So I'm also planning meals around things that we do have to try and use them up. And I'm definitely going to get more of this black bean sauce because it was such a hit to find these noodles on clearance. And then also we had stir-fried beef, so I just threw it all together. My son didn't eat the meat, of course, just the noodles, but it was such a quick and easy meal. And then we had leftover noodles as well for his lunch the next day. Another freezer dig through, and I find a pie all on its own, and I knew I had chicken pies in the big freezer, so I went out and I grabbed that. And of course we've just had mashed potato with some veg. My daughter's had her crumbed chicken. The next night I found these quiches on clearance at Coles, so I picked up a couple and I chopped them up into portions. We've got 2 other portions in the freezer for another night, so I've added chips. My son's had his chicken nuggets and chips, and my daughter, I'd actually made her a lasagna. I just didn't take any footage of it, so next time I make one I will film the process. She uses a tomato puree that's different from the tomato that we use. The next night was just a repeat of the chicken and rice that we do, honey mustard chicken, so I've just re-put this footage in here because I knew I had it from before, and I usually just jump straight into the kitchen and start cooking. We had bought fresh chicken as well, so yeah, I don't always film everything. The next night we're having a bit of a mixture of stuff, so we actually got given these bread rolls from our in-laws because they know someone who runs a bakery, and they did the end of day clear out, so they gave us a couple of chocolate donuts and some rolls, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to use those rolls for. So I made hubby some meatball subs. He was so excited. He used to get that at Subway when he worked at the uni, and so I was able to recreate that. And then for my son, I recreated doorstops because we used to buy them at uni all the time. It's just ham, cheese and pineapple on a really thick slab of bread. My son absolutely loved it, so I was happy with that. For my daughter, I made her a quiche, and then she had that with veggies. So of course now she's got that for the next 2 or 3 nights. So if you don't see her dinner on the side, that is why. She's just repeat. And I've just had one of the quiches that I got on clearance. I had a late lunch, so wasn't really that hungry for dinner. The next night I've had another dig through the freezer, and I have found some more chicken Kievs that were in there, and we've got some chicken nuggets for my son. So there's my daughter's quiche with her veggies and everyone else's dinner that's here. I do actually have some now footage of some more raw chicken that I bought, because yes, I turned them crumbed again, so then I could have some specific burger chicken patties for my daughter, because we're having burgers. I've got the frozen chicken patty for my son. I found 2 beef burger patties in the freezer, and I got the burger buns on clearance. So perfect opportunity for us to have burgers. I always have the ingredients in the freezer ready. It's just waiting for the burger buns to come on clearance, and then that's go time for the menu plan. The next night, hubby and I have had a pasta again with white sauce, because again, clearance, hello. There are some things I'm going to pick up when it's on clearance. It freezes perfectly well, so good opportunity. And my son's has chicken nuggets and chips because he didn't really like the pasta. The next 2 nights was a lasagna for hubby and myself and my daughter, so I cooked 2 separate ones. I'm just showing my phone because I put this on Instagram to go look at the markdowns, and someone was like, why would you buy out-of-date mince? And I said, it's not out of date. You can see that it says best before the 27th and it's still the 25th. But anyway, I'm sure that nobody cares. I would have just thrown it in the freezer if I wasn't going to use it straight away, but I knew I was, so I just cooked with that. And thanks to your suggestions, I used the leftover markdown of the white sauce inside the lasagna. I couldn't really tell a difference, to be honest, but it was a lot quicker and easier, so I appreciate the comments and helpful hints about that one. My son just of course had a pasty with his potato gems. The next night I found these chicken patties on clearance, so I picked them up because it's going to save me some time, so my daughter can have the homemade crumbed chicken patties that I do, and then hubby and I can eat these ones because it's a lot cheaper and then quicker, because I do bulk prep her ones and put them in the freezer. They cook up beautifully, so I was really happy with them. Of course, we've got veg and we've got chips, and then this is my daughter's chicken. Now the next night we have had pizza because we were actually given this for free in the little bakery haul that we got, so that was a really nice, quick, simple and cheap dinner. And I'm sure that my daughter probably had her chicken noodle dish that she does, because I have no notes or footage about that. The next night I actually had leftover lasagna that we had from a few nights before. I put it away because I knew I was back to Zumba this night. So my hubby and my son had this store-bought chicken schnitzel that we had, and my daughter would have had the crumbed chicken with chips and veggies. So everyone else was in charge of cooking because I had to leave a little bit earlier. And then Tuesday night is here and we are back to Zumba in the full swing of things. So we're going back to our traditional chicken and rice. That's what we do on a Tuesday night because it's quick and easy. And then wrapping up the end of the month, we have finished with pizza and cheesy bread because I managed to find the last piece in the freezer. It's so good when you can find things in there. And my daughter has had her quiche with veggies as well. So here is how I do the homemade chips. I just peel everything, chop it all up, and I put it in the oven with a bit of spray of canola oil, and I let them cook for about 40 minutes. So it does take a little bit longer than normal frozen chips from the shop, but so be it. It's easy. Thank you so much for joining with me for everything we've eaten for a whole month. It was a lot to put together, but yeah, I just thought something different, why not? And it just shares with you how we cover sensory and texture needs and different meals for everybody. So thanks for watching. I so appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.